Hi everyone and welcome back to SunBurst Tarot, where today we're going with someone who I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. The Muppets. So as I was scrolling through Facebook feeds or Facebook reels one night, I was looking at kind of just, oh, this is a cute thing because the sequel song had come on from the Muppets for like a little quick short. And I wanted to look at just the Muppets because it's like I was going through and I was like, okay, I want to go listen to this song. So I go to YouTube, type it in, find the song, and then like I go and I start watching the music video. And typically I don't watch the music videos because I just like listening. I'm more an auditory person than a visual person. So I'm just going through, and then like I turn off my phone and then it stops. So I'm like, fine, because it was like for YouTube Kids it was on. So like I go on and then I'm like, okay, so I gotta watch the whole movie or watch the whole trailer. And like I'm going through and I see Diddy and a Muppet in the movie. And I'm like, what? He was, y'all, I was shocked. And y'all, I put I put the picture on my community tab and I'm like, do y'all want me to read into this? And I'm like, people are like, yes. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And I just did the reading and guys, I don't know if like I'm just a little crazy. I don't know if I'm like out in left field, but like how was the Muppets origin story? Like, what is the actual Muppets origin story? Because I have so many concerns and thoughts and kind of who they were to where they were and everything in between. So stay tuned for that because it shocked me what I thought they were originally used for, or what they were originally supposed to be. So with that, then, just some news and announcements. So quick reminders. I will be doing a Learn With Me video series here soon. If that interests you for astrology, that's coming out sometime soon. I'm trying my best to do that. If you guys would like to follow me on any of my other socials, they are all linked in the description box down below. I have TikTok, Facebook, uh, Twitter. Come hang out with me. You can DM me on those platforms if you guys have different things that you would like to see readings done on, or your own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. Otherwise, remember everything's all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. No facts here, y'all. Just my opinions, psychic downloads, and the such. So if you want to use what I'm saying to help form your own thoughts, opinions, and conclusions, please do so. If you don't want to, you don't have to. No one's going to force you here to do so. So, with that, then, I will see you guys in the reading. So, see you there. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the video. So, as we all know, we're going with some of our favorite little puppets of all time. And, y'all, I am tapping into the energy of the Muppets. Just initially, I am kind of, people are either, it feels like, are going to love this reading or hate this reading, and I'm going to let you guys decide who you are. So initial things that I want to go into first is, who are the Muppets? What is their kind of general energy? What's the general energy of the Muppets as a collective, the puppeteering group, people, places, and things? So, because, yeah, let's just take a look at the general energy of the Muppets in their current state. The Star, they are loud, proud, in charge. They have got some awesome things going for them. They are the Star. They have a lot of power within their sphere of influence. Why is this the Sun? Everyone loves the Muppets. They love the Muppets. They're really good. They've been such an icon. They are essentially a cultural icon to millennials, Gen X, elder Gen Z, and even beyond that. They are such a cultural icon. And they're still a cultural icon. Financial influences here on the situation. Judgment. There's a lot of... So what I'm seeing here is like financial influences. Sorry. So Judgment card upright. I don't know if the Muppets, as the collective, have a lot of say in what parties they're involved in, what shows that they're involved in, uh, what they're doing. It's like, how I would describe it is they are a they it feels different than, say, like a talent agency where each individual character is an actor, right? In this case, it feels like they as a collective are kind of being told, you got to go over to this location because we said so. I forget who the parent company who bought them out. I don't know. Is it Disney? I think Disney bought them out a couple of years, like several years ago. But it feels like the characters of the Muppets, or like the puppeteers, the Muppets as a whole, they don't, or the people who even act as them or play as them, they don't have a lot of control or direction of where they are going. Also, 111 on my clock here as I'm looking up. So yeah, it's like, as we're going to move forward in this reading, there's a heavy focus on how they're making their money is coming from a very top agency that then funnels into them. I think that's probably just the parent company that we're seeing in Disney right now. Or the hopes and fears here is the Emperor reversed. Uh, so I don't know if there's one particular puppeteer, or I should say the manager of the puppets. How do I? I'm just going to call it the manager, the person who kind of who does all the bookings for them. There's a greedy, selfish individual that feels like is above them. And being above them, this person is all about the money, all about how do we get this, how do we get that, and just raking in all the funds. It's his way or the highway, it feels like. So whoever manages the puppets, the Muppets, whoever manages them, whoever their like talent manager is, or their like collective bargaining person is on behalf of all the actors within the Muppets brand, it feels like this person is just not a good person. And but it's at the same time, it's like, you say what we do, and it's like they don't have like the people who like play Kermit, who play Fozzie, who play Miss Piggy, like they don't have a lot of. They're just told do this, and then they go and do it. But there's not a lot of fight behind the scenes between. It's like, oh, we just want us to go do this. Okay. So there's not a lot of pushback, it feels like. The unseen obstacle here is the strength card. Yeah, because a lot of them I think are pushovers. It's a weird energy here of like a pushover type of energy, and that's the kind of the unseen obstacle. It's like you could be fighting this. You could be, but you aren't. A lot of weakness. They kind of get the people who play the actors, the puppeteers who are the voices of the Muppets. They're just like that. We'll do what you say. There's not a lot of like. It's like I don't know if they just don't have the power to go out and be like, yeah, this is the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, but a lot of it is like we just don't care. It's like we just like doing what we're doing. It's like I almost see it as like a bunch of people just coming together, like, oh, we're just here to having fun behind the scenes. The other challenge here is the Chariot reversed, which is a halt in progress, not moving forward, not doing things. So I wonder if like the Muppets are almost shelved right now. Like they're shelved for projects, they're shelved for engagements. Like sure, it's almost like they get pulled out whenever they're needed or wanted, but it feels like they haven't been brought. It's like what I see is the Kermit puppet sitting on a shelf, and it has dust on it because it hasn't moved in 3 or 4 months. That's what it kind of feels like. It's like they got shelved. It's like we aren't moving forward with things. We aren't. It's like we're halting in progress when it comes to the Muppets as a whole. What's going for them though is that they have a cult following. Sorry, but the Hierophant upright. It's like there's a commitment to the Muppets. I'm hearing like, oh, with everything going on in Hollywood right now and the entertainment industry as a whole, there's like we just need to keep these guys shelved. Uh, don't have them engaged. Just keep them shelved. They have a cult following, so whenever they do come back, people are just gonna come back and love them. And it's like the actors or the puppeteers are kind of just I don't know why. Like it's such a weird energy when I go into like, okay, so there's Kermit. So like I'll go into Kermit's energy, and Kermit's energy is like ha da 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 hunky dory, everything's good. But then I go like into the actor like behind Kermit. So like it's like there's Kermit, and then there's like there's a disconnect, and then we go to the person who plays Kermit, and that person, it's like it's very odd because maybe this is just me just I'm not super familiar with the whole acting and like how people do like method acting and the such, but it feels as though when like that person steps away from Kermit, they're like a hollow shell, or it's like who they are is like it's like they were a vessel for the puppeteer. So like when they aren't being the puppet, they're kind of just like the person who plays Kermit is like on a shelf too, just the same as the puppet's on a shelf. It's just like we're just gonna feed you bread and cheese until we need to bring you back up from the basement and to play the character. Like it's super weird, at least to me. And maybe if anyone who's done acting or anything can explain it to me, I would be fascinated. Okay. Here in the past, we have the Empress. So there is someone. So this could be a duo, Emperor and Empress. But what I get here is there. So we have the Emperor who's like in the current. Here in the past, there was an Empress who maybe they worked with or they were managed under. Like it passed from one person to another, and the person in the past did a phenomenal job at, I think, doing like equal pay, giving and like engaging with them. However, and like they really liked them. Like they were the world. They were the no, 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 no. Please tell me this isn't who we have been seeing in all of my past Diddy readings. Is this that feminine energy who's been across almost every one of my single Diddy readings? I hate this. I'm hearing yes. I'm hearing yes. You little. So she had direct influence with the Muppets. Whoever this was. Y'all, I am. Because if I remember correctly, the Muppets came from Jim Henson's Creature Shop, right? That's like where they originated from. I'm going to look into the intentions and all that, but not too in the far past here. Not too distant past. I feel like early 2000s. 2004 is a month or a year that feels important, involved with something with the Muppets. And then here in the future, the moon reversed. So the moon reversed, I've always seen as like is like the secrets being held, but in this case, it's like secrets getting revealed. But it's like what we're seeing is you see this moon, and you see this the person who's underneath, essentially the mask, the puppet. Also, I'm actually kind of shocked that we did not see the marionette card. So like in the hanged man in this deck is actually a marionette. It's a puppet. So I'm curious on why that didn't come out here either in the current energy. Again, I don't know if like the puppets themselves, like it's the more of the people behind the puppets that's I think more of the stuff going on here. But seeing, I'm just gonna grab this up here so you guys can see it better. But with the moon card here, it's like, yeah, it's a revealing of secrets. Things are coming out. Like, but this moon is also, when it's out, it's like this person transforms into the werewolf. Seeing it reversed here, it's like the moon's come out, but the moon is now going to be shining more. Like the moon is coming out, but it's like we aren't able to hide behind the puppet. We aren't able to hide behind the creature anymore. So I'm wondering if maybe there's going to be some, I don't know if there'll be news about the actors behind the puppets or behind the Muppets that might be coming out about them, and maybe some of the culture that was going on behind the scenes in the current. So that's interesting that we do see like there's stuff going to be hidden here in the future, but I think there might be some leaks and stuff as well. So okay. So Interesting, interesting, interesting. So, what I wanted to look at here, more very specific, is I'm going to grab a new deck out. This is called the Landscape Tarot. It's stunning. Plan on using this for a couple readings coming up here, but what I really want to look at is what is the intention? What was like? I like doing the history of everything, so I want to see because I want to see when the Muppets were created, the characters created. What was the intention of them? And then I want to see how they kind of like what's the intention of when they started at the height of their power, or like the height of their stardom, I should say, then kind of maybe a little bit more of the fallout or fall off. And then I want to look at them after the, maybe not at the height, but like I want to take, yeah. Oh boy. So, don't know why the A team always seems to come to my head as of late. So, okay. So, yeah. So we're going to look at the history of the Muppets. So, yeah. Just because, like, when we look at it, we know, like, I want to say, like, what were the intentions with these little guys when they started? Oh, boy. We've got conflicting energies here. When my decks, because like this deck actually shuffles really, really well. So like when I see it kind of not shuffling well, like it gives me the sense of there was a lot of conflicting emotions, I believe, when it came to the conception of the Muppets and what they stood for. So, because it's like we're having to force this. Like there's a forced energy here. It's like, because it's like, oh, I just can't. Yep. I can't easily shuffle this, which is very odd because this deck typically shuffles very, very well. Odd. Because yeah, it's like we have to force. Okay. We good now? Okay. So let's take a look here. I want to take a look at what was kind of the. So we have the King of Cups reversed as like when the Muppets were first created, what was this intention? They wanted to. So King of Cups is like, when I see that reverse, this is like a gaslighter. Someone that manipulates others' emotions, and they're very, very, very good at it. But also seeing here with all the different arms, this is an octopus. And it's like there were multiple ways that I think they wanted to go with this. Again, we wanted to go multiple different ways. We had multiple ways we wanted to influence people. Lots of deceit as well, or like misdirection of like emotions, people's, places, and things. Why was this? The Nine of Cups. Hold on. Okay, these are. Okay, I had to remember. Nine of Cups reversed. So when I say like the original conception of the Muppets, who we see as the Muppets now is not how they wanted that. Like when they were initially getting created, like this was a very difficult time because it's not everyone's dreams were getting realized when they created them. It's like we're unhappy, we want them to be my way or a different way. Why is this? Because the Nine of Cups reversed, because it's like this wasn't our like something didn't manifest. I wonder if were they made for like a show or made for like a movie or something, and then they kind of got scrapped from that movie or from that sitcom or something that they were supposed to be a part of, and then like because they had these things scrapped, essentially the whole thing or like the thing got pulled. They're like, oh well, why don't we just reuse them or retool them for something different, and then they kind of and it got morphed into something that they weren't originally intended for. Financial influences, the Strength card upright here. So, but they were a very strong contender when they're. What I see here is I did the baby bird. And look at all like the fruit and stuff around them. So like they were a unique, cause like I look into the background as well. It's like they're in the city, but yet there's this bird in this beautiful lush bush that looks like it should be in a forest. So when it comes to financial influences, they were unique for the industry that they were in. They were a out of the box idea. They were out of the box. They were a breath of fresh air in an already crowded space. So, I mean, they did really, really well in that way when they first got created. It's like because we're so unique and we're so different than what everyone else is doing, we're able to have lots of money. Hopes and fears here, though, is the Seven of Swords reversed. I don't know. This is weird. Seven of Swords is like I'm getting away with. I'm not being able to get away with things. What were these puppets originally created for? Because I don't know if they were originally supposed to be like a mainstream media. I don't even know if they were supposed to be an entertain. I don't know if they were even supposed to make it to TV. I don't know if they were meant to be something that was supposed to be so public. There's something weird here. Hopes and fears, Seven of Swords. We're like our hope is we want to get away with things. There's something hidden in plain sight with them. When there's something hidden in plain sight with their creation, it's emotional manipulation of situations, people, places, and things. They didn't realize that they didn't reach the potential that they were supposed to. Because, like, we never got to the lush green acres. Oh, boy. The unseen obstacles, the Page of Cups reversed. Unseen obstacles. Maybe this is the age group? No, this is. I'm getting some uncomfy vibes about their creation here, guys. So I'm gonna keep the challenge here. Three of Wands, we've had to retool things. We had to look at things differently. Their imagery as well, I think, has changed. Because when I look at this card, you see the fire, but then you see all these different imageries and their symbolism. Their symbolism. Seeing it reversed here, it's like, and that's the challenge, is like the symbolism changed a ton from what they were supposed to be, from their initial concept and their creation. I am, what was going for them? The Four of Wands. They shook things up. They shook things up and they did something different than other people around them. They were also able to reach a very different group of people that were not able to be reached before. It made something mainstream that they've been wanting to make mainstream for a very long time, and they finally found the answer to it. So I don't. How do I put this? So you know how people. I don't. You know what? I don't care what people use to. Well, I don't know. Different strokes for different folks, right? Some people are into anime. Some people are into redheads. Some people are into guys. Some people are into hairy chests. Some people are into boobs. Some people are into butts. I really don't care. I really, really don't. As long as it's safe, consenting, and you aren't hurting each other for the sake of just hurting someone, I really, really don't care. Like, I really don't. However, what I'm getting from this is that, yeah, and then here in the past, the Eight of Swords. Yeah, this feels like there were people out there that wanted to take something mainstream. I don't, whether this was like something to do with puppets, something to do with humor, something to do with entertainment, wanting to say things but without having it maybe identified to a person, place, or thing. It's just like it's just a furry creature that we think is cute and we love, right? That's Kermit, that's Miss Piggy, that's they push the envelope on things that I think were gateways for other to introduce new concepts to mainstream media. And that was their intention when they started it. This was like, you know how some people are just into puppets? Some people just like those furry, whoever, whatever. Again, different strokes for different folks. But what I would get from this is like we were trapped. We weren't allowed to really escape or leave the confines of what we had or what we were maybe attracted to or what we found to be online. And I think they got into a very different a diff ah god, this is so weird. But I don't know if anyone's seen the R or knows of the R-rated movie called Sausage Fest and how there's puppets and humans, they interact, but it's R-rated. And I'm just remembering one scene where it's a puppet and another human doing the deed together, and you just see white stuff painting the walls or the windows from the puppet. That's what this feels like. This was a gateway. That's what the intention of the gateway was for. That's what it feels like. It's very weird. It's odd. That's what I'm going with. And then here in the future, the Ten of Swords reversed. This is something that was done in secret. This is something that we felt ashamed of, that we wanted to be hidden. Just look at these. Just look at these. This is like things that were done in the dark, things that we did on the down low, things that we did in the dark. We brought it. It's like, you know how you have a person, you got your guy, right? And then with your guy, you go to like this such and such street light, and then you do your business, whatever business that may be. Someone might be picking something up, someone might be dropping something off, money might be exchanged, and then you go your separate ways. That was here in the past. Here in the future, now we look at this Ten of Swords with things going on with those Muppets in this conception. It's like, this is something we did in the dark. This is something that we were trapped in. This is like an aviary. But you see here, this is only, what's left was birds, was like the feathers. With their conception, this was some weird, I almost want to say fetish, that was then put into mainstream media that has now gained popularity and is now kind of put more into, and like people saw it as taboo. And again, it's not a bad thing. I'm not seeing like the devil card here or the tower card or anything, but it's like in this conception, it was a lot more sexually charged, I believe, than most people would believe it to be. Okay, I know we are. Okay, that's the conception. I know I might have been mincing my words or not explaining things, but that's what it feels like. It's very odd, and I'm like not expecting that turn. Again, I also think that these were maybe some would call dolls that people might have been really interested in, and then they just gave them voices. It's odd, man. It's very odd. Okay. Okay. So next I want to look at them. How were we feeling at like as they grew in popularity and they're essentially at the height of their power, the height of their stuff. Because like I want to take a look at that and like what was like the energy when they were in like the height of their stardom and or fame. I mean, they're still really popular today, but I mean, again, I feel like they've been shelved. They're shelved. So let's just take a look here. Let's just take a look here. What was the energy around them at like the height of their popularity? The Seven of Cups reversed. It's like we knew what we wanted. We knew what we had. They knew the direction that they were taking them in. Why was this? Because the Six of Cups. Where I think they were more originally supposed to be more of an adult type of Puppets, they really got geared towards kids because kids really thought they liked them. Six of Cups. It's like, we kind of know our direction now. Can we focus, please? Thank you. So it's like we were focused. It's like our main focus originally was not on kids, but then kids started to love them. So it's like, okay, now we know the direction that we're going into. Their original conception is not where they ended up in their height of fame and power. Seeing here, yeah, because they really geared themselves, because we have the Emperor card reversed here. Because, like, we gained a lot of fame. We gained a lot of power. We are going to be greedy. We're going to be selfish. We're going to go after everything that we can. If people say like fame changed the Muppets, they did. Fame definitely changed the Muppets from their original conception to where they are now. Yeah. Hopes and fears, the Seven of Pentacles. It's like, we want to keep this going. It's like, we got nest eggs, we got money, we have the fame, we have the stuff going, and this is going to be something that's going to be a long-term thing that we're going to be able to harvest, use, and keep going for forever. Also, as I look out here, like, this is a park bench, but then it overlooks a giant lake. It gives me a little bit more sense of like a Three of Wands upright, which is like, I'm seeing my manifestations and I'm going for them. So it's like, this is a long-term manifestations and long-term hard work that they've put into, that they are now going to be able to reap. They're going to be able to come back to the tree that they've been planting and pick apples every year from it. That is what the hope and fear here is for them at the height of their success. Sorry about that, y'all. Unseen obstacles, though, here's the Four of Cups. They knew the direction that they went in, but they were not happy with the direction that they had to go in. It's like, they went after the direction that they went in was specifically for money. Four of Cups type of energy here. It's giving me the sense of, and that's the obstacle, is that, like, we aren't actually, it's like, oh, we see the cup that's offered to us. And it's the one with all the money. And it's the one that makes us and pays our bills and gives us the height of fame, power, and fortune. However, this isn't what we really signed on for. Like, this isn't why we made them. This isn't why we're here. Like, and that's kind of the obstacle. It's like, I think there was a changing of guard a little bit here as well, where some people just weren't happy with the direction that they were getting taken in. Like, they didn't want to do kids content. I think there was more of a, I think they, again, it feels like they wanted to keep it more adult themed, very, very more adult themed with the Muppets, versus the direction of, now we gotta go do these kids movies, so now we gotta go do this stuff with kids, so we gotta do this stuff with kids. And it's like, I even think, if I remember some of it, like, there's been some like slide remarks or crude remarks that are like made for adults that are slid into a lot of the Muppets movies. And it's like, if I think if the direction of that the Muppets cast, if they had more of if they were able to have more creative freedom with it, I think they would have gone even harder into that direction rather than into the more kid-friendly versions of things. Yeah, because the other challenge here, the Hierophant reversed. They just did not, at the height of their fame, they hated what they were doing. Or a lot of them did. A lot of them hated what they were doing. They weren't committed. They did not like they did not like the direction that they were going in. They did not like kids content. They wanted to do more adult raunchy content. What was going for them? Is this the Chariot? Again, I haven't used this deck a lot. It's the Chariot reversed. What was going for them is that they couldn't go in the direction that they wanted to. If they wanted to make money, if they wanted to do things, they got stuck in a niche because they might have done it once under pretenses, and then it got marketed to just kids. It's almost like what I see in my head is, hey, we're going to sign you on for this entertainment deal. Awesome. Okay. And they go do this entertainment deal. They have like the scripts. They get signed on. They're kind of like stuck into a contract, and then they're given the script, and then it's like, okay, yeah, we agree with the script, and then the script got changed last minute, and now instead of it being more of like an adult themed thing, it's like, nah, we needed to sanitize it because we're trying to market this to families and other people, and then they're like, that's not what we signed on for, but it was a hit. And then having it be a hit made them kind of be like, well, we really need the money and we really like the money. So now they got just drove into a direction that they did not want to go into. Even though, because again, the direction that they wanted to take the Muppets in was a much more raunchy and adult. Because here in the past, the King of Cups, I wonder if this is Jim Henson. No. So the King of Cups here in the past gives me the sense of there was, I don't know, there might be, it feels like there might be a ringleader within them, and it's not Kermit. No, Kermit is not the ringleader of that group. Just saying. He is the voice of the group, but he is not the leader of the group. So with that, then, it just gives me the sense of there's someone who I think almost coerced them into that direction, because it's like this is a better direction for us in the long term, as maybe as like a company wide rather than maybe like a what our passions are here for. And then here in the future, the Strength card reversed. Yeah, the money that they got and like in the height of their fame, again, I feel like there's been a bigger turnover of castmates than we have been told of since like the beginning of the Muppets. Because also here that Strength card is giving me like people I think also stopped caring about the type of content that they did. It's like we got kind of suckered into the money. Also, again, people just became pushovers. People became pushovers. They became vessels for the characters, not individuals. Because, like, I even think some of them are afraid to talk in their own voice. Because this is a very weird thing where it's like we just are the character. It's like some people I don't even think talk in their real voice outside of the puppet. It's very odd, very weird. Again, it's like the character gets shelved, then the actor gets shelved because they're synonymous. It's very weird in my head. So, okay. So So next, I want to take a look at what's the energy behind the sale to Disney. So, also at the back of the deck, the Ace of Swords was at the bottom of the deck here about what was going on. It's like what we saw versus what was actually beneath. Like, there is so much going on behind the scenes, beneath everything that we did not know about in a public sense. Again, I don't think anyone was really happy with the direction that the Muppets were taking at the height of their fame. They went in a direction that a lot of the puppeteers, I think, or characters were not happy with. Again, feels much more adult type of content that they wanted to make rather than kids content. Kids content, they had other puppets for. Muppets are supposed to be for the adults and always for the adults, and it's not where they went. Okay, so let's take a look at the sale to Disney, and then we're going to take a look into, I think, what everyone kind of wants to know about. It's what's going on with them and Diddy. So, because, man, I went down a rabbit hole to find this. I went down a rabbit hole to figure out, like, what in the world? Because, like, y'all, I was just sitting on Facebook, scrolling Facebook or Instagram Reels. And all of a sudden, it was just a cute, happy little song. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. I want to go listen to the full version of it. Because it had Kermit in it and Fozzie in it. So it was like the sequel song. So I'm like, okay. So I go and I want to go look for the full version of it. So I go to YouTube, type in sequel song by the Muppets. First thing comes up. Okay. And you know what? Typically, I don't look at the I don't typically look at the screen when I'm listening to music because I'm like, it's okay, whatever. But I couldn't actually not look at the screen for this one. It's like I had to look at the screen because it turned into like the YouTube Kids version because that's the one I accidentally clicked on. So I clicked on it and then like, oh, I'm going to close my phone because I just want to listen to the music. And all of a sudden it's like, yeah, no, you can't you can't close your phone and listen to that. And I'm like, okay, so I got to watch the whole thing. And then I'm just sitting watching the whole thing. And then all of a sudden Diddy shows up and I'm like, wait, what? He was in a movie with them? What? So that's how I got this. I'm like, what? Okay. Y'all, are y'all interested? Okay, here we go. Let's look at our little Muppets in danger. So let's just take a look here at what is going on with our. When the Muppets got sold to Disney, what was kind of going on there? King of Wands type of energy. This is an entrepreneurial entrepreneurial direction that they went in. Also, I think someone came to them with a lot of money. Why is this the Two of Cups as well? I think there was someone came. They were very predatory. Look at this tiger, very predatory. I think at the time that they got sold, there was a lot of disagreements within the group, but also there was a falling out of love with the Muppets for a bit. It's like, yeah, people knew their stories, they knew their movies, they knew their different things, but that's what they knew them for. No one wanted to work and do new stuff with them. So it's like, oh, we got a predatory deal here for you guys, because the financial influences, yeah, the Page of Cups, there wasn't a lot of opportunities, or the opportunities that they were getting were dwindling down. Page of Cups reverse. It's like, even if they were getting offered things, it wasn't a lot of money. This was a very predatory deal when it came to, it's like, oh, we see you're kind of on the decline here. Why don't we come in and Disney kind of come in and help? Because also here with the hopes and fears, the Hanged Man, it's like we weren't seeing things from a new perspective. They were doing the same things over and over and over again, and now starting to get different results, but hoping for a better result. It's like we were doing the same things, and it's like we're getting bored of it, but we're also losing money on it, because it's like no one wants to watch the same thing over again. And the Hanged Man here with the hopes and fears is like, we need to change something, but we're refusing to change how we're doing things because we're just relying on the past to gain us favor. The unseen obstacle though here is the Three of Cups. They got screwed. They got so screwed. Muppets were Muppets before at least had like an inkling of what they could do or what they could or couldn't do. Right now they are completely controlled by Disney in everything that they do. They signed a really bad contract. It feels like someone who was supposed to be a friend never was a friend, and they got shafted. Like anything that they want to do, like any creative things, they are now just stuck where they're at. If you want the Muppets of the old, you're never going to get the Muppets of the old because they don't have the creative freedom to do the Muppets of the old. They are now just going to have to do anything sanitized of the Muppets. Just that's what it is kind of moving forward here, especially with this sale. Because also the other challenge here, the Nine of Wands. They're not able to kind of say what they want. Because it's like, we would love to come out and we would love to say what we want. I mean, look at this. This is gorgeous. But it's like so empty and vast, and it's like we're just going to keep you isolated over here in this corner. You're not able to come out and say what you want. You're not able to look at the cosmos. You're not able to say what you want, how you want it. Everything has to be super sanitized. And then what's going for them? The Three of Wands. Reimagination of who they are. So, the Three of Wands. What's going from? They're getting reimagined or retooled, and maybe that's why we haven't. And maybe that's why like the Muppets are kind of a little bit. They're getting retooled for, I think, for a different audience, or like an audience that maybe. And here's the thing with the Muppets. Like the Muppets, I think, are wonderful if they could still keep doing their adult type content. Right? Yes, I think most people watching this video would love that. It's like, we get to be a little crude, we get to be a little rude, we don't need to be so, oh my gosh, so sanitized. No, it's if we're missing that, right? But it feels like they're getting retooled into something completely different. So maybe this is a different type of show. Maybe they got different actors. Whatever they were in the past, they're getting retooled in some way, it feels like. Maybe that's what we're going to be learning here coming up. But here in the past, the Ten of Pentacles, yeah, bad business deals from industry, legacy money, just bad people, bad. And then here in the future, the Magician. So I feel like we're going to be hearing some new communication. Maybe there's going to be a new show or we're bringing them up. The Muppets are getting back together. They're coming out again with something, it feels like, soon. They've been on the shelf, but they're getting ready to take them down. And they're getting retooled in some way. They're getting a new brand. They're getting a new, just something new about them where we're going to see just a different side to the Muppets. I don't know what that'll be, but with the Magician upright, it's like we're soaring to new heights. We're trying something new. The Muppets are a cult classic. They are, people always will come and go see the Muppets and see what they can do and how they're working together and the such. So expect some new stuff coming out from them here soon. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go to what everyone really wants to know about. And that's probably most of the reason why people are here. But hey, maybe you're just here because you love the Muppets like I do. So let's take a look here at. I want to take a look at the Muppets and Diddy, or why was Diddy in a Muppets movie? Like, also, guys, let me know if you guys like these longer videos. I know I've been doing some really long ones as of late, and I know not everyone likes them. So just let me know if you guys like them or not. So let's take a look here with the Mr. Muppets and Diddy. What was kind of that all about? And go from there. Let's see. How is that relationship between the Muppets and Diddy? King of Pentacles. Okay, this is a money deal. I wonder if he was one that maybe put some money into the Muppets at one point in time. I'm hearing yes. Why is this the Death card? This relationship between Diddy and the Muppets. He, I think, put money into them because it's like I don't know if there's like a nostalgia part of it with Diddy, but it's like also with this Death card, it's like, I want to invigorate new life into you. I have money, like they bring you on the brink of death. We want to redo things. Also with these financial influences on this, Seven of Wands, I want to avoid something, or we're trying to defend ourselves against something. Interesting. Hopes and fears, the Knight of Cups reversed. Want to distance myself from people. Unseen obstacles, the Nine of Pentacles. The money that I did have or was using wasn't kind of like what we... Someone convinced him to do this. Hold on. Challenge. What was going for him? Here in the past. Here in the future. So, what was that thing with Diddy and the Muppets? Diddy put a lot of money, I think, into that movie. That's what it feels like, in my opinion. So, just look into who was all in that sequel, Muppets the sequel, movie the sequel. As they go on world tour, I think that was the one. And, so we have Diddy, who put a lot of money into it, which is why I think he made a cameo. Why is this? Because of the Death card. It's because there's a death, the rebirth, but also I think there's some weird... again, I think it's maybe just he wants to save this from... Yeah. Okay. So he's looking to... I don't know if the Muppets at that point... Like, there's a nostalgia factor to the Muppets. And then financial influences on top of it. It's like, I want to save you from people coming against you. Also, I think you need to look at the people who were in that movie, with all the other people in the movie that were with the Muppets. I can't remember the ones off the top of my head, but really look into who those people were, because there's also big connections there as well. I almost wonder if the Muppets are like, oh, if you put money into the Muppets, it's almost like it's like a rite of passage. It's like, you like these things. It's there's some sort of like weird like ritual with money related to those Muppets. Seeing the unseen, or the hopes and fears here, Knight of Cups reversed. It's like you're detaching from people, you're detaching from others. In concerns to Diddy, it's like I'm disconnecting from one aspect of my life and I'm putting money into a different. It's like this was like a transition. It almost feels like it's like, oh, I'm almost slighting you as well. Because down here we have this Nine of Pentacles as like the unseen obstacle. He beat someone to putting money into the Muppets. He beat someone to putting money into the Muppets. Someone else wanted to, I think, be in this movie. I don't know why I was getting Oprah feelings from this card, but it's like he beat someone else to the punch to be involved with this project. The challenge here, the Eight of Wands, though, as well. Something about money getting split, but he also had to split himself. This is weird. This is super, super weird. This relationship with the Muppets that he has, this challenge. It's like things are going all different places. This moved fast. This almost feels like a quick split-second decision that he had to make when it came to, are you going to put money into this or are you not? Because it also feels like there's something on the underside of it as well. Because here, what was going for him, he just made a split-second decision that was kind of made for him, or he made for himself without really thinking too much. Here in the past, like, this is something that I needed to heal from, move on from. I got burned before. And then here in the future, the Two of Cups. So Diddy and the Muppets are on pretty good terms. It feels like they also they both like each. This is so weird. Because almost I see it as like there's something with like producers or people at the top, and it's almost like I see someone who's like with the Muppets who like organizes them or manages them, and then they're going to different people to see, hey, do you want to put money into this? Oh, do you want to fund this? And the guy goes, who knows Diddy, and he goes, hey Diddy, you want to get in on this project with the Muppets, the sequel? And it's like, let me think about it. It's like, well, this other person was thinking about getting in on, if you do, we can get you a cameo and stuff in there. And Diddy's like, oh, well, no, I'm doing it. Because it's almost like he did it because of, like, this person's a friend of his. But then he wanted to, like, slight this other person who was also, I think, in the running to put money into it. So the Muppets are like a chessboard, or like are pieces on a chessboard of, like, how do you want to influence people. Also, this gets Diddy in front of kids. This gets Diddy in front of kids in a positive light. It's also a big PR move, I think, for people to be in Muppets movies. It gets people talking about them and the such. Okay. So next I want to just take a look at what's next for the Muppets. What can we expect next from them? I mean, I think we see some new communication or like a retooling or a TV show or something. But let's take a look at just the Muppets and what's kind of maybe next for our furry crew of friends. Because again, it feels they've been shelved for a while. And maybe you're like, well, you just saw Kermit or something on TV. And I'm like, yeah, but like we haven't seen them in like their own production in a bit. So let's just take a look here. What's kind of next for our Muppet pals and friends? So let's just take a look here. I also don't know if they're going to stay with the kids angle. I'm hearing no. But let's take a look. What's kind of next for the Muppets? Oh, the King of Pentacles reversed. Okay. The vaults are getting released. Or someone's going into the vaults of things. Okay. Because, like, when you look at this, it's like there's this guy. There's our kingpin here. And he's in a vault of holding a vial of blood. But this is a whole vault of his stuff. Seeing it reversed here, it's like the vaults are opening. Maybe we're going to see old Muppet content. Maybe we're going to hear about old Muppet skits that might have not made it to air. But like old stuff, the vaults are opening is what I'm hearing. Why is this? The Page of Swords. Someone's releasing and saying something about the Muppets from the past. The vaults are opening. I see this as like new communication, old communication. Something's coming out about the Muppets. Old vault. Something from the vault. Financial influences, the Ace of Cups. That's going to create nostalgia, or people are going to fall in love with it again. There's a new movie or an old Muppets movie that was shelved that's coming back, in my opinion here. Or an old script or an old something old from the past is coming back around, is what it feels like from the vaults. Because our hopes here is that we're going to offer new emotions, new characters, new stories about them. Knight of Cups, new offers coming in. Unseen obstacle here. Knight of Y'all saw me shuffle. The Knight of Pentacles here reversed. The unseen obstacle. I think this original person, or like the original people who were trying to put money into things, just don't have money anymore. So now they're having to go back to the old. Someone is scraping the bottom of the barrel here of old content that was shelved because they are desperate for anything to stick right now. So you know how we've been having old movies or old actors and old people like that are just getting rehashed or sequels and stuff. We're going to see that with the Muppets. There's something from the Muppets that's coming back up that I think was filmed quite a while ago, to be 100% honest. Or it's an old script that's going to get brought back out because we need to do something, and you know what? Muppets. Which I'm not upset about, but come on, guys. Some new stuff here. Other challenge here, the Queen of Swords. Ooh. Oh, boy. This is like an exec who's like, I don't know what else to do. Just do what I say. Again, it's like, do what I say, not as I do. This is what the direction that we're going into because I don't know what else we're going to have to do. Oh boy, because what's going from them? The Justice card up, right? They're getting their day. Also, again, I don't know if there's going to be maybe some allegations made from like people behind the scenes of like the actors or the vessels that play these puppets and characters. But like the other part of it, like when I'm connecting up with like the collective of the Muppets, like the people who play these characters, like they're not. Think of it as like it feels like it's a frat house. That's what it feels like. That's what the cast feels like. It's a frat house full of frat guys from like the 80s and the 70s. Think about what's it called? Animal House. Animal House, but the guys who played back then are like older now. Same sense of humor, same sense of crudity, just older now. That's what this feels like. And we might be hearing about things coming to light, but I think also the Muppets are going to get their day coming up here of like, this is what they truly could have been. This is maybe things that they wanted to do. And so we're going to get to see the Muppets maybe in the form that they originally wanted them to be in, or we're just going to see a new one where they're going to be able to come in and maybe make lights of situations that we really need light on to make it not so dark and depressing, but like to get information to be to have information be more palatable. Because here in the past, this is a decision that we've been weighing for a bit. It's like we can either shelve them completely, or we can keep them on the direction or we can try something new with them. This is something that they've been doing for a while. It's like, are we going to open the vaults and bring them back out? And then here in the future, the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like we're kind of having to. Again, this feels like from whatever studio they're part of, the studio needs money. And you know what we haven't done in a while? Muppets. Let's bring them back out because they're always a hit. We're going to get money. We're going to get disposable income to do other projects, but we need it to come in first. So how do we do that? We bring back ye old reliable, aka the Muppets. So that's what I'm seeing here for them. If you guys enjoyed this, feel free, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your own thoughts, opinions, and ideas down below on everything that I kind of did. This was super fun. I actually really liked this. So yeah, and again, if you guys would like to book a personal reading with me, feel free. You can use my description box link down below to the website. Otherwise, feel free, join YouTube members. You get to see videos like this early, as well as some exclusive content that I don't share to everyone on YouTube. So with that, thank you all so very, very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. So bye!